Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks traveled through the sky and beyond. It seems those that came before us never lost hope in finding a new home for their kind. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxanol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right. But no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours. The sound of spark metal going pew-pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There you go. The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. Lightning up. Nice shot. .21 gigawatts. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives. He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure out why.
Miami.
He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way overdue, but he hasn't given up.
Nuekek Ujbar Nobarke.
He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then, the night everything changed.
Ilia Antuf.
There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great Wall, and he's happy to see it's true.
Ayamu Aya.
The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an outcast is old and sad.
Fofo Bagwa Papabu.
The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left.
Lodunu Bayo.
There's no doubt you're the child, and that what
Luau Tula.
He-
Ikobe. Ivarikobo Fan.
it was after the attack that,
Tikamapen.
had it not been for the Tree of Life, asks if you were tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He wonders if... You're such a good child, so you probably did. Even the young forget. He understands why you came all the way out here, to see them, the potato people. The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder, somehow interlinked with this little tree here, fuel. You might be right. Like potatoes, they're packed with energy, an excellent source of ki. The Nono prefer to hide in glitter grass. He says the Nono's ki energy is just what the Pensai needs to complete its cycle and grow into a tree of life. You'll need an... You handle that net like you've never done anything else. Easy. Now that you've seen the Nono's connection with... From... One day, the land won't be as peaceful. Not even... He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Muma comes looking for you. You did good. That's not true. She's the reason there's still unity, and the only one strong enough to keep... He lost you there for a while, but no memory is alone. It's part of a trail you can follow. The tree started to die when the end of days begun. Records tell of the ruinous devastation the Toxanol Corporation inflicted on the land. The apocalypse sparked a re-evolution, the second... His friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the merkpuff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the northwest route. Nocco has tamed the midget and is preparing to take on the hoofpuff at the end of the east route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porkypuff at the end of the route to the southeast. Out of Date says his friends are gearing up to stop the World Eaters. There's the road ahead won't be easy, but he's counting on your support. He wants you to understand. Regardless, you'll meet again once you've... You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb. Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the World Eaters. A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged. Let's see. Must be the World Eater that chewed off Out of Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. It's a bridge. Just get over it. Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive. He's heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the World Eaters to other enclaves, but never expected one to come all the way here. He worries there won't be much left to save if this continues, even if the Tree of Life survives the attack. He doesn't know what your connection is to this place, but something tells him you've stayed true to your heart. Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your actions you'll be judged, not by... He's grateful for that. You still seem to have a spark of light in you.
Ah! That's a spark of light in you!
What's there to like about light? It hurts to look at.
Not as much as it hurts to look at you.
Always making this personal.
And you're always trying to pretend it's not.
There's Out of Date again. He must have missed something important.
Yuba Doluwao.
Out of Date says you will make a better stand against the World Eaters with the support of a tribe, and there are two nearby.
Tamuk Gabamuktab.
The Myriad tribe is likely to be a good match as they act on the understanding of the greater good and have a code of honor.
Muk Bebuk.
Regardless of who you choose, it won't be easy, as the conflict between the tribes is worse than ever, teetering on the brink of war. The Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way.
Moku Far Kobi.
Out of Date says someone needs to break the stalemate and shift the balance of power to either Jagni's or Myriad's side. He believes the tribe Sifus, Myriad especially, will listen to you and expects you to pay at least one of them a visit and play your part. Out of Date will be waiting for you beneath the Tree of Life if you lose track of what you need to do. Buffer than ever. Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be? It's unusual that natural tunnels like this still exist. Most of them got flooded. This area was beautiful before the tribe war began. Look at it now. It's a war zone. That's the Myriad Tribe's fortress. Will they be friends or foe? You should head up there. That way you'll know. Let's see. It's a beaten path to that door. If you go there, you'd better make an entrance. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. Says the Sifu gets to choose who sees the Sifu, but he'll let you give it a try.
Vanen aginkalman. Geratna fal hutut mustugai la wute.
The Myriad tribe act on understanding of the greater good and a code of honor. They believe uniting the tribes is the only way to restore the peace. The Sifu is convinced that defeating the World Eaters and saving the Tree of Life is the only way to make the world a better place. He welcomes you to the Myriad Fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. But he was hoping you'd show up. The news of a vigilante Ronin on crusade crossing the Great Wall. The wall? There's something about your... The Sifu says sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about you. There were 6 of them. Myriad wants unity. If you believe there's some good in everyone, there's still hope for tomorrow. You'll unite the tribes. He was... The Sifu was waiting for something to... Their kin have run out. He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of. He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen. You both have gentle minds. Tells you not to be afraid. Once you've dealt with... Seeing you brings... He remembers you're kind and Anyway, the mem... You have things to do. Place... Understand. Sparked! Boom, boom. Hey, nice shot. Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially, deformed and unfurled. Hot metal. Not gonna happen with your key energy level.